latest WWE Hall of Famer has been revealed, and a major name has debunked rumors of heat with CM Punk. But first, All Elite Wrestling recently announced that AAA Mega Champion Hijo del Vikingo is heading to AEW Dynamite this Wednesday, with him set for a long-awaited matchup against Kenny Omega. The news confirmed that AEW and AAA have overcome some ill will from a recent incident last year that saw Dragon Lee and Dralastico defeat FTR for the AAA tag titles. This before Lee announced that he had signed for WWE, with AEW being unaware that this was the plan at the show. Well, AEW head of talent relations Christopher Daniels would speak with Wrestling Inc. recently, revealing that there was a meeting between Tony Khan and AAA booker Conan that led to amends in a relationship, and Daniels would note, "Actually, I feel like it's in a good position right now. Conan and Tony Khan recently had a meeting and tried to suss all that out, and I feel like we're in a good position. We're in a good place right now, obviously, because I'm going to AAA to wrestle." So yeah, I feel like whatever miscommunication or misunderstandings, whatever that was, I feel like that's in the past, and we're going to move forward and not dwell on that and try and be available. Each promotion is trying to be available for the other as its schedule permits. Next, we have an update on the contract of a top champion in New Japan Pro Wrestling, who may be gone from the company much sooner than we thought. In the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the status of IWGP Women's Champion Mercedes Moné was revealed, who is said to only have one date left on her Bushiroad contract, and the report notes, "As of right now, Mercedes Moné has no dates left with Bushiroad after the April 23rd Yokohama Arena show, Stardom All-Star Grand Queendom. Unless that changes, logic would say she would drop the IWGP title to Mayu Iwatani at that show. If Moné wins, it would mean she's reached an agreement for a longer deal." With that said, Mercedes would appear at Planet Comic Con in Kansas City this past week, where she was asked about a potential WWE return where she worked as Sasha Banks, before reiterating that working in Japan has always been her dream. When discussing the return of many WWE superstars following the exit of Vince McMahon, Moné would say, "First of all, nobody knows the story. You don't know the story, but you're reading whatever you want to read and believe whatever you want to believe. Nobody knows the story because I haven't said anything, and I'm not going to say anything because that's just the classy boss that I am, the CEO. But one thing, it's up to them. It's up to Dakota Kai, it's up to everybody else to come back. That's great for them. That's awesome. That's their dream, but I went after mine, which was going to Japan. You have to follow your heart and follow your soul and follow your dreams, and this was always a dream of mine that I never got to accomplish. As I'm growing in my career, I'd been in the WWE for almost 10 years. I had to have a change. I had to feel something different in my heart and my soul. I had to go after a whole new dream and a whole new chapter and a whole new destiny for me, and this is what I wanted for me, and this is what I wanted to make happen for me. That's it. This is what I'm going for. This is my dream." And speaking of NJPW, this year's New Japan Cup is entering its last stage, with both finalists being now official. Sanada and David Finlay will meet tomorrow in Nagaoka with the trophy on the line, after 4 matches each so far. On the way to the final, hometown boy Sanada would defeat Taichi, Kenta, Tetsuya Naito and Mark Davis to establish himself as a top contender, and the son of Fit Finlay would overcome Tomohiro Ishii, Great Okan, Shota Umino and Tama Tonga as his recent rise continues. Finlay would recently find himself in a prime spot in New Japan following Jay White's exit from the company, with him taking out the Switchblade on his way out of the door, replacing him as the leader of Bullet Club and becoming Gedo's chosen one in the process. Whoever leaves tomorrow as the winner will earn themselves a shot at Kazuchika Okada's IWGP World Heavyweight Championship on April 8th at Sakura Genesis. Heading into WrestleMania 39, speculation has surrounded Stone Cold Steve Austin and a potential matchup on the card. According to a recent report from Fightful, Austin has been offered a number of matches by WWE, all of which were eventually turned down or, in one case, ignored. While speaking with the Wrestling Classic this week, Austin would reveal that his Mania status is still to be determined, this before adding that a spotlight should be shined on WWE's current superstars, and he would say, "I haven't heard anything. We're literally, as we speak right now, about 2 weeks away, and it's the biggest show of the year. WWE has got as good a roster as they've had since the Attitude Era. They got a deep roster, so I think many guys and gals need those coveted spots. They got plenty of names to draw from, plenty of talent to draw from. I think they should shine the light and the cameras on their current superstars." This weekend, another WWE departure was confirmed via a report from Fightful Select. WWE writer Nick Manfredini is said to have now left the company, with him perhaps most notable for his involvement in the Firefly Funhouse segments. His exit brings an end to his 13-year stint with WWE, with Fightful noting, Fightful Select has confirmed that Nick Manfredini left the company earlier this year. Manfredini had been with WWE for well over a decade, having joined the fold in the spring of 2010. Manfredini was heavily influential in the creation and creative of the Firefly Funhouse segments. We have not learnt if Manfredini left of his own volition or was let go. And in other Bray Wyatt related news, we have an update on his status with WWE following recent fan speculation that he is done with the company. According to Dave Meltzer, who spoke on TSN Radio's Sunday Night's Main Event this weekend, Wyatt is out due to illness and is still with the company, and Meltzer would say, he was supposed to be at the show Friday, and he was not, so he's still ill. They did do a quick tease of him, so he's not gone from the company. When I asked this week if he was going to be wrestling Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania, I did not get an answer, and they did not promote that match on either show at all. I was not given an answer, so my gut is that it's up in the air. I was not told a no, I was not told a yes, I was just told that he is ill. I guess it's out of their hands right now, but he's still with the company. I know there's people who think that he quit the company, but they did do a tease on the Friday Night SmackDown show. The newest name to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2023 has now been revealed, with an exclusive report being released by Variety. Hollywood actor Andy Kaufman, who became a pivotal part of Memphis wrestling history during the Territory days, finally makes his long-awaited and deserved place in the hall. And Variety would write, Kaufman will be inducted alongside this year's fellow honorees that currently include Rey Mysterio and the Great Muta. He made his mark on the world of professional wrestling, however, when he declared himself the intergender wrestling champion of the world, offering money to any woman who could pin him as part of his act. This famously led to a feud with fellow WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler in the Continental Wrestling Association in Memphis, Tennessee. Despite Lawler and Kaufman being friends, they successfully convinced the audience they were bitter enemies. Kaufman claimed that Lawler broke his neck when Lawler performed a piledriver on him, with Kaufman appearing in a neck brace thereafter. The two made an appearance together on Late Night with David Letterman in 1982, during which they traded insults before Lawler slapped Kaufman, knocking Kaufman out of his chair. Whilst it hasn't been confirmed who will induct Andy Kaufman into the Hall of Fame this year, many are expecting Jerry Lawler to do the honours, although it is unclear if he's medically able to do so after he suffered a stroke in February. Despite being cleared to return to his Memphis home earlier this month, his status for the show is up in the air. The Undertaker would recently speak with Inside the Ropes to promote his upcoming One Dead Man show, where he would be asked about his supposed heat with old WrestleMania rival CM Punk. Taker would deny the online rumours that the two had a falling out, noting that he is very proud of their match together, and the Dead Man would reveal, he was great to work with. I'm very proud of that match. We sat down and we thought about ideas and everything. It was great. I had no beef with Punk. He was always business with me. Hopefully I was with him too. He was good with me, and that's all that matters. Business is business. Whatever's best for business. Everybody thinks they're an expert, but they really have no clue. It's ridiculous online. Business has always been business, and Punk was always business with me. And before you go, make sure you check out the most improved superstar ratings in WWE 2K23.